Hello all, welcome to next session of Fundamentals of Power Electronics. In today's session, we are going to study construction working of one more thyristor family device, that is UJT. So UJT stands for Uni-Junction Transistor. In previous semester, we have studied about the transistor it is a 3-terminal 2-junction device. So UJT also having 3 terminals, but here it forms only single junction. Therefore, it is named as uni-junction transistor. So basically UJT, that is uni-junction transistor, is a 3-lead electronic semiconductor device with only one junction which acts as an electrically controlled switch. So the basic application of UJT is it can be used as a electrical switch here, and while construction it forms single junction, and as the name stands, it is a transistor, so it has 3 terminals. Next, the UJT is a semiconductor device which exhibits the negative resistance and switching characteristics. Therefore, it can be used as a relaxation oscillator circuit. So, UJT is a one type of transistor. Therefore, it is little bit similar to the transistor, but its switching characteristics are differ than the transistor. So, it can be used as a relaxation oscillator device. It is a one type of solid device that can be used in gate pulse timing circuits, trigger generator applications to switch and control the thyristor or triax triggering time. So, UJT has a basic application that it is used in a triggering circuits or for the gate terminal or in a timing circuit. Next, it has a high impedance in off condition and low impedance in on condition. So already I have told that the UJT is a one type of electrical switch. So electrical switch means it has both the operation off and on. So during a off condition it offers high impedance, and during on condition it offers the low impedance. Next, construction of UJT. So in this layer, here we can observe that symbolical representation of UJT. So in symbol, it represents that it has a 3 terminals, that is B1, B2 and emitter terminal here. And whenever we observe the construction or symbolical representation of UJT, it always resembles that the emitter terminal is near to the base B2 terminal. Next is construction of UJT. So UJT is a type of transistor, hence it has a 3 terminals, that is B2, B1 and emitter terminal. Next, in construction, in layer diagram, here we can observe that it has a single N layer and the P layer. So UJT construction has only 2 layers, that is one P layer and one N layer. So here the N layer which is lightly doped and P layer is heavily doped here, and when P and N layers both are combined together, it forms the single junction, and that single junction is called as PN junction. So in construction we can observe there is a formation of single junction here. So the device is called as uni junction, that is single junction transistor, and named as a transistor because it has 3 terminals B1, B2 and emitter. So in layer diagram also we can observe that the emitter terminal is near to the base B2 terminal here. Here next, for the in a construction we can also observe that there is a channel N channel, and from B2 to B1 the arrow is indicated here. So it states that whenever UJT in a conducting period, the current flows from B2 to B1 through the N layer. So N layer is a channel for the flow of current. So, unijunction transistors are constructed from separate P layer and separate N layer semiconductor material which forms the single PN junction within the body. Therefore, the device is called as unijunction transistor. Next, here N channel gives the platform for the current to flow from B2 to B1. So that is a channel for the flow of current. Next, in a construction, it consists of lightly doped N layer with heavily doped P layer, and this P layer and N layer combined together to form the junction which is called as PN junction. So normally it forms the diode construction here because the single P layer and single N layer is there, and when these both layers are combined together it forms the single junction that is called as PN junction. So there is a construction of diode, but it has the three terminals B1, B2 and emitter terminal. Therefore it is one type of a transistor semiconductor device. Next, the N layer has a two terminals. So here B1 and B2 are connected to the N layer and emitter is connected to the P layer here, which is near to the base B2 terminal. Next, emitter is formed by P-type material and B1 and B2 are formed by N-type silicon material, and there is a arrow indication on the emitter terminal. So in a symbol here we can observe that the arrow is on a emitter terminal and the emitter is near to the B2 terminal. So arrow indicates the flow of current direction in a UJT. Next is working. So here we can observe the simplified equivalent circuit of a UJT here. So already I have explained in a construction that whenever there is a whenever here it forms the P and N layer and it forms the PN junction. Therefore there is a formation of diode construction here. So as P and N layer are combined together, it forms the diode construction. So same that diode representation is used in a simplified equivalent circuit. So in equivalent circuit we can observe all the three terminals, that is B2, B1 and emitter terminal. But emitter is connected to the P layer, B2 and B1 are connected to the N layer, and P and N layer are combined together which forms the diode construction. So emitter to center of B2 and B1 there is a connection of diode here. Next, as in a single lay channel both the terminals are connected. So here we can see in a single channel both B2 and B1 are connected here. So if we connect B2 and B1 directly, then there will be a short circuit connection. Therefore, while representing an equivalent circuit, both B2 terminal and B1 terminal are represented by a resistance connection. So the resistance connected to B2 is called as RB2 and resistance connected to the B1 is called as a RB1. So in a construction we have observed that the emitter terminal is near to the B2 terminal. Therefore the value of RB2 is a constant which is not variable, which is not possible to change the value of RB2. But here as the emitter is far away from B1, therefore the value of B1 resistor, that is RB1, can be changed. So by changing this RB1 value we can alter the UJT current which is flowing from N channel. So in working it states that the N channel basically consists of two resistors, that is RB2 which is connected to B2 and RB1 which is connected to the B1 in series and with an equivalent diode, that is emitter to the center of this point there is an equivalent diode. So this diode is formed because of P and N layer combination by forming the PN junction. The resistance RB1 is given between. So here RB1 is connected between emitter to B1 terminal, and the resistance RB2 is connected between emitter to B2 terminal. As the physical position of PN junction is closer to the terminal B2, that is emitter terminal is near to the B2, the resistance value of RB2 will be less than RB1. So this value is always less than RB1, and this RB2 is always constant and RB1 is a variable value. So as in equivalent circuit we can observe that the RB2 and RB1 both are connected in series. Therefore this entire structure forms the voltage divider network between two base terminal. B2 to B1 there is a voltage divider network here. So this voltage divider network makes the Q point of a transistor to stand at the active region to operate as an amplifier here. So the same construction is used in transistor, and here B2 and B1 resistance values forms the voltage divider network. So here the B1 terminal is considered as a ground terminal here, and if we make input voltage at a emitter as 0 and voltage VBB, so voltage VBB which is applied across B2 to B1 by applying positive at B2 and negative at B1, then there is a working of UJT will be achieved. So for that here we are observing B1, or we are making here B1 terminal as a ground terminal, that is a 0 value here, and at initial condition the input voltage at emitter is also kept as a 0, and positive voltage is applied to the terminal B2 with respect to the B1, that is positive at B2 and negative at B1. So as the supply is applied, there is a voltage drop across both the resistances RB2 and RB1 when the emitter is kept at a 0 input voltage value here. Next, as there is a voltage development across RB2 and RB1, there is a the UJT will remains in a off condition only. So to make UJT to turn on, here we need to connect the supply across emitter to B1. So emitter should be make as a positive with respect to B1 because the emitter and the resistance center point has a diode connection. Here anode is facing towards emitter terminal and cathode is facing towards the center point here. So to make this diode turned on, the emitter should be made as a positive with respect to the B1, that is B1 is kept as a negative value. So when the voltage across emitter to B1 is applied and positive voltage is applied at the emitter terminal, if this voltage when positive voltage is applied across the emitter, the diode will not turn on until the voltage across the emitter is greater than the voltage developed across RB2 and RB1, because here we are applying the VBB from B2 to B1 here. So as the VBB is applied, there is a voltage drop across RB2 and RB1. So these two voltages makes the diode as a reverse biased. So at this point there will be a voltage. So when we apply emitter voltage and we are going to increase this voltage, until now the voltage should reach this point. So when the voltage reaches up to this value, then only diode becomes forward biased. And once the diode turns on, the current will flow from emitter to B1, that is from positive to negative direction through the N channel, which is provided for flow of a current here. So whenever UJTs need to be turned on, the voltage across emitter to B1 is need to be applied, and that voltage should be more than the voltage developed across RB2 and RB1, and there is a voltage drop across these two resistors by the VBB. So once the voltage across the diode increases greater than the voltage drop across the resistors, then diode turns on, and if the diode turns on, then UJT also starts conducting. So as the UJT is conducting, there is a flow of current from emitter to B1. So while working with the UJT, first we need to remember that there is a resistance values between B2 and B1 terminal, because B2 and B1 both are connected in a N channel. So to avoid the short circuit between B2 and B1, here there is a provision of two resistances RB2 and RB1. And in a layer diagram already we have observed that the emitter is connected to P layer, B2 and B1 are connected to N layer. So there is a formation of junction, PN junction, and that PN junction is equivalently represented as a diode. So diode is connected between emitter to the center point of both the resistors. So next, the B1 is considered as a ground terminal. So there is a application of negative voltage at B1. So at B1 the voltage negative is applied, and at B2 the voltage positive is applied by the VBB. So when the supply VBB is applied, there is a voltage drop across RB2 and RB1, but the UJT remains in a off condition. Therefore, to turn on the UJT, we need to give the supply across emitter to B1, but emitter terminal has diode connection. Therefore, emitter is connected with positive with respect to the B1. So until UJT remains in a off condition, when the voltage of emitter is less than the voltage drop across both the resistors. So once the emitter voltage is increased here and it becomes greater than the voltage drop across RB2 and RB1, then diode becomes forward biased, and as the diode forward biased, it starts conducting and current flows from emitter to B1 terminal. So as the current flows through channel N, then it indicates that UJT turns on and it starts working. Next is applications. So already I have explained that UJT is one type of a transistor, but little bit different in switching characteristics. Therefore, it generally used in a relaxation oscillator circuit, and the UJT is also used for a triggering of SCR and triac. So triggering means to turn on the power semiconductor devices. So in SCR working, I have explained that whenever we need to turn on the SCR, the gate should get the positive pulses, and those gate pulses can be generated by using a UJT here. So UJT is generally used for triggering, that is to turn on the SCR and triac. We are using UJT circuits. So it has the different switching characteristics and negative resistance value. Therefore, it is used in relaxation oscillator circuits. They are also used in voltage regulator as well as current regulator circuit. So in this session, we have studied about UJT, that is unijunction transistor. So name itself indicates that unijunction. So in construction, we have observed that there is a formation of single junction between P layer and N layer. Therefore, it is called as unijunction, and it is a transistor. Therefore, it has a three terminals. Those are B1, B2 and emitter terminal here. So as it is a transistor, but it has the different switching characteristics. So generally it is used in relaxation oscillator circuits, and they are also used for the pulse generation which are applied at the gate terminals of the SCR and triac. Therefore UJTs can be used in a triggering of SCR and triac, and also UJTs are used in voltage regulator and current regulator circuits. Thank you.